You are now listening to No Dumb Idea. No Dumb Idea. No Dumb Idea.
You are now listening to No Dumb Idea.
I'm the Dala, baby.
Hey, Dala. Have you noticed we live in a society?
Yeah, baby. You want to know how I got these cars? I got a Buick. A couple Buicks.
Maybe we should look for Gibbledang.
Get in my car.
Yeah, keep going.
Let's get in my car.
Don't transition into looking for me yet. Yeah.
Oh.
Keep going with Dala's card thing.
This is the bit, isn't it? It's
Hey guys, welcome back to No Dumb Idea. This is Gibbledang here. It's a
that's what
pop
I
culture
thought.
podcast. Who am I joined by? Who are my hosts this week?
I already introduced myself.
This is Gym Leader Nate. The one
And
right?
Dala. If you didn't catch my nice portrayal.
Yeah,
Flawless.
if you couldn't notice our glorious voices, recognize us immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible stuff, as always. Hello, everybody. It's a pop culture podcast, comedy pop culture podcast.
Ooh, haha.
This
really?
week, yeah, a little bit of this, a
Ah.
little bit of that, you know.
Oops.
But we won't say which one.
Ooh.
So let's just get right into it. Who cares about our weeks? They were dog shit. Were they?
Speak for yourself. For
Actually,
sure.
I had a fantastic week.
I went to
actually.
the
My week was
moon.
awesome.
Yeah.
I played a fun game.
Oh my god, I'm just being, a little hint to our premise. I'm feeling so nihilistic and edgy and just, oh god. But yeah, no, it was an amazing weekend, amazing week.
You got
busy,
drunk and
productive
called
stuff.
me after texting me. What's that?
I
Football?
did. I was at a friend's party and
It was pretty funny.
I was super drunk and they were playing J-pop. I'm like, oh my god, I know the perfect song for this. And I ended up calling Dala.
Well,
and
you text me first.
kind of.
For
I texted you first, and you didn't respond fast enough. I called you like 10 minutes later.
that's a fucking lie.
Whatever. There's no way to possibly prove it. But anyways, I called him and drunkenly tried to be like, hey, what's the song that goes like this? And I'm trying to sing in
Yeah.
Japanese.
Okay, wait.
In phonetic Japanese, drunk.
For reference too, the text I got was literally at 8:15 p.m. What's he Japanese touchdown song? To which I respond immediately, what? And then you call me at like 10ish because I sent you the song at 10:30ish. So
All right.
yeah, it's dressed
Well,
down.
you know,
it's
that
a
was,
great song.
It was a great song, Dressed Down. It was a good party, too. It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, how was your weeks?
I'll just get it out of the way because mine was very boring, very nothing. I got to sleep
Very
in a couple
nice.
more times this week, which was nice. And played a bunch of the new Magic set on Magic Arena over and over again.
Ooh.
Nice.
Other than that, this
You
about
got any
it.
favorites?
I mean, Sultai is so like the reanimation theme is just like so nice in the new set, and I built a new commander deck again after we did the in-person pre-release.
Mhm.
And I made Taval, and I think it's going to be a very nutty deck.
Ooh. For your nut
allows
deck.
me to do-
Full of nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got just going nuts. Allows me to play things like Sire of the Seven Deaths for free.
Hey, is that a
and stuff.
squirrel on your patio? Because that's a nutty deck. That's good.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty
That's a
good
good one.
That is.
You guys can have that.
Yeah.
Are you crazy episode of Tim Man Toolman Taylor? Because you're a nutty
Yeah.
deck.
What the fuck did you just say?
There you go.
Crazy episode?
He just called you Tim Allen.
There you go. there
He
you
also
go.
called you, are you crazy episode? What does that mean?
A crate because he's nutty. A nutty deck.
Okay.
It was terrible.
Makes
on
sense to
purpose.
me. Makes sense to me.
It was a bad
Okay,
on
okay.
purpose. But sorry.
How about you, Dala?
Oh,
How
yeah.
was your week?
Well, funny actually.
Yeah.
Is that I played a game called Sorry We're Closed, which has been fucking fun. I'll recommend
Board
it.
game?
Sorry We're
Video game?
Closed. Yeah, video game.
Yeah, video game.
Yeah.
Ah.
I just bring it up because I saw a
Five
review.
Nights at Freddy's?
Huh? Oh no.
Five Nights at Freddy's?
It's a
Yeah, same game.
Yeah, same game. Sorry, we're Five Nights at Freddy's. Oops.
Oops.
No, but I got it after because I've seen it. It's one of those like RE like 1 style, like PS1 style.
Oh.
But I heard it described it as like a review described it as queer Silent Hill, and I was like, ooh. So I was like, all right.
Oh, nice.
It's like half,
Oh, so
half-
the zombies are all gay?
you're gay.
Mhm.
The characters you play.
I'm
are all
also a zombie.
gay. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The character.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, no, it's fun. It's like half visual novel, graphic novel, or whatever those ones you play, like a dating sim, but like kind of.
Yeah.
And then the other half
Choice
is,
making.
Yeah, and then the other half is like
The other
Silent
half is
Hill,
gay.
like Resident Evil 1 style.
Oh.
It's fun. I'm almost done with it too. It's fucking great. But that's about it.
That's
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's not a nutty deck, but
Nice.
yeah, it's getting there.
It's not a
But it's getting there,
nutty
and that's good.
dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. All right, bye.
All right, so yeah, that's
Yeah.
our show.
Long day.
Yeah,
It's a long day.
Another
Taxes. Did taxes yesterday?
I did. I'm doing them now.
Went on a walk today. Okay, so let's just jump right into the premise. Why
Mhm.
not? So, I told you guys this a couple days ago, but this week it's gonna be literally me characters.
Mhm.
Now,
Gibbledang,
there's gonna be
literally
two
Gibbledang.
kinds of There's gonna be two kinds of discussions that we're gonna do, and basically, I want to talk about characters that people misinterpret and decide to be like, oh my god, that's literally me. And then I want to talk about characters that we identify with, that we think, kind of put ourselves in that perspective.
Mhm.
Hopefully there's no overlap, because
I'm sure there will be.
hope not. For you, Dala, maybe.
Doesn't be just.
I mean, actually, maybe both of you. You two are a couple of jokers, so,
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I really
Mhm.
relate to the Joker famously portrayed by Jared Leto.
Yeah, that one specific.
Yeah.
And I like the
wicked,
walk-in.
nihilistic sense of humor.
Yeah, I like the walk-in one,
Mhm.
but particularly it's from part 2. Or
Christopher Walken.
Joaquin. Sorry, Joaquin.
Joaquin.
Fucking, it's me, the Joker, baby. What is he? I got these smiles.
Who's that? Is that supposed to be?
That's supposed to be Christopher Walken. I've never said I was a good improviser
Okay.
or impressionist.
Do you
also-
want to know?
Yeah,
I got these.
I have said I'm a good
scars.
improviser.
yeah, I have that. I haven't said that. Yeah.
My father was a bit of a drinker. Sorry.
No, I'm
My
like genuinely
father-
want to see that now. That'd be great.
Ugh. So yeah, what do you guys want to start with? You want to start with characters that let's actually start with let's go ahead and start with the characters that people misidentify.
Sure.
Just the complete point. We should probably
Ooh.
talk about the Joker. Let's get it. I feel like we
I
should
mean,
start
it is-
with the
out of the
Joker.
way, yeah.
Yeah,
The
it is
Jonkler.
like number one, hot button. The worst people relate to this character.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
type
Yeah,
character.
I'm complete chaos.
Very
and
funny thing.
We live
Yeah,
in a society.
I'm wicked, dark, twisted sense of humor, and that's just me. And oh
Yeah.
my god, I could snap at any moment. And then they, oh Jesus
then they
Christ, it's a
chug
very
'em.
good source for cringe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I actually, now I'm like thinking about I kind of do want to rewatch that old video where the guy's like, "I'm the Joker, baby," because that might not be
I'm
as
the Joker,
cringy
baby.
as it like Joker has become. Funny enough, I feel like it's become worse.
Eh,
It's probably still cringe.
I mean, but that's yeah. And it's Joker across the board. I think, it's as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, Joker's cool. Like he's just a crazy clown. You know what I mean? But I don't know, the novelty.
I guess I'm curious.
The people that really identify with that is just like, oh, you clearly have
Yeah.
much larger
Yeah.
problems at hand.
What to you guys is like the peak or what Joker's supposed to be kind of thing? Like, what's the best portray? You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Probably Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I think
That's-
cartoon Mark Hamill like is just it's one that is still like it's still a little bit eerie, but mostly like just hams it up super like
Funny, sinister. Like,
Sure.
yeah,
that's the best way to put it.
and it's silly. You know, at the end of the day, it's kind of supposed to be silly. I feel like
It's
to really
comics.
hit.
Because there's some points in the
Yeah.
comics where like Joker tries to get his car valeted, and the valet is like, "Aren't you gonna kill me?" And the Joker's like, "That's not gonna be funny. Why would I kill you?" You know what I mean?
I just need to get this
That's-
done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but
there's
it's
no
also
joke
like
there.
I've always thought, and even in the animated series, there's the episode where I think he accidentally poisons it's the laughing fish. He poisons a bunch of he poisons a bunch of fish, and then he tries to trademark the fish because they look like him. And then I think all of Gotham either doesn't get any fish or some stupid shit like that, but it's like a comical take, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
based,
feel
It's
like
funny. I've always
based on the comic like,
I've-
storyline too.
yeah.
that too, yeah.
I feel like there's been a lot of suffering for the Joker done at the hands of modern adaptations, just trying to make him as dark and gritty as possible. Whereas I feel
Yeah.
like where the Joker shines is that he is like he's supposed to be an antithesis to
Yeah.
Batman. Whereas Batman is all serious, all dark, all brooding all the time. Like
Order.
I feel like even though the Joker's laughing, if he's laughing in a scary, maniacal way, then it's still like kind of serious. It's still like supposed to be like scary. Whereas like no, Batman's supposed to be scary. That's his whole thing. The Joker's supposed to be silly and he just causes destruction.
We should get a funny
in
Joker.
the process.
Yeah.
We need to
funny,
get a
silly Joker.
genuinely hilarious Joker. I think it would be amazing.
I think also
Like
just
he throws a Jello bomb in like Gotham Harbor or something,
Dude,
and
that'd be
turns the
funny.
entire. And then Batman's like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, bitch."
Ooh. Okay,
And
actually,
Joker's
my
like,
God.
I gotta go.
Imagine that as the villain for like the second Robert Pattinson Batman. It's
Yeah.
Joker, but all gags. And,
I was gonna
like,
say he's
not
a
even
YouTube
he's not
prankster
even like
style.
that deadly. He's mostly like just
Ew.
disruptive. He's like, oh, I see. It's like the
Yeah.
Jello thing going along that line. He's like,
annoying.
oh, I turned all your major harbors into Jello. You're not going
It's like, what the
anywhere.
fuck is your problem, dude?
Yeah.
The hell, like
So
that would be pretty like antithesis
It's funny,
of that movie, especially.
Yeah,
I've been
'cause
thinking about this premise for a bit, and last night I had a dream that a lot of people were like either had to take the place of villains, or like there was a person like I was the Joker and I hated that, but because I was like aware, I'm just like, oh god, I've been
You mean
thinking
you know
about
in
my
your
podcast
heart
too
that
much.
you are the Joker?
Truly, I am the Jonkler.
You do live in a society.
It's true. It's true.
Got him.
Yeah.
Is that enough? Have we done? I mean, I guess on the other side of that is Harley Quinn at one point, I want to say.
Yeah.
Mainly because people were like, oh my god, especially the Jared Leto and
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie, seeing them back and forth. I knew actual toxic couples that were like, that's us. All right.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I feel like that's
Absolutely
related to
insane.
the Joker still, but
so
yeah,
us.
I think just in general, Joker
Yeah.
should never like be the main character, in my opinion. I don't know, like he's a force of nature. He's like a thing for Batman.
He's a force of nature.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
I also feel like
It's
for
me.
Harley Quinn, also they suffering at the newest portrayals of her and
farting.
kind of losing the fact. Somebody online was talking about how like the newer portrayals of Harley Quinn just kind of miss out on the fact that she's supposed to be genuinely fucking annoying. Like she's supposed to be so unrelentingly like critical and joking about everything that she is like insufferable to be around. And that's the real reason why she's with Joker all the time, is like he's the only one who can literally like
stand
suffer her presence. And it's like they were just
Perfect
someone was
for each
posting
other.
every like really terrible joke she made in the animated series, like the older animated series. And it's like, damn, I miss super annoying like Harley
That's
Quinn.
fair.
Like
I do like how she is like in like her Harley Quinn show and like some of the like I like that she's branched out and made her own character. I will say they're definitely making her
the
more
new
of a
Harley
Looney
Quinn show, I
Tune-
think, was a
Looney
good
Tune
one.
now.
Yes,
Yeah, where she's like farting
Yeah.
on like comic and like it's just like she's Deadpool.
that's perfect.
She's literally just
That I
Deadpool.
love.
yes.
Yeah, she's perfect now.
I was gonna talk briefly about people who, while we're on the topic of Joker, who misidentify with Batman. Because I feel like Batman is also literally insane and like isn't actually supposed to be a role model.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who are like, oh, he's why I became a cop, and like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who see a lot of things that I can't
I'm
even see
dark
in
and
the character.
broody.
I think
it's like a
not to shift because I guess I agree with that because I don't know, I can't see that, but you actually bring me to another point that I did want to bring up on this list. We'll wait with Wolf of Wall Street, but we probably should move on to Punisher because that literally is Punisher.
Yeah,
to the point where it's a plot point in the Born
The new
Again,
show.
Daredevil Born Again.
yeah.
Which is great. It should have actually. It's gonna finish up tonight.
Ooh, right now. As we're recording, I assume.
But
not,
yeah,
like, when this comes out, but-
this idea of like people, basically like people who are fans of authoritarianism, like getting like and like just fans of people who are fans of enforcing things through violence. Getting behind characters like Punisher and Batman because they think that's what they're really about, is
And
just
what we
enforcing
need.
their ideals through violence.
Yeah.
So like it's like the same reason that they joined the fucking Proud Boys is why they like Batman, basically, is like it's like these dudes who or Punisher.
I think Punisher's the more common one nowadays,
and there's even more like heroes too who like they just completely misread.
Oh yeah.
And
That's probably most of
and they
them,
think
really.
it's about being valiant enough to enforce your own law upon other people with the violence of your own hands.
I feel like you could pick almost any edgy character and actually probably would fit this as well. Like any edgy character.
So I do have
comic book
Travis Bickle.
Who? Sorry.
I got Travis Bickle, the taxi driver from from Taxi Driver.
Sorry.
You talking to me, baby?
Yeah.
Sorry, I never said I was a good impressionist.
That was perfect. No, that was perfect.
You're good improver.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hey,
Punisher's a weird one because it's like if you actually read any of his comics, it's like not what he's about. And the shows, like a lot of the shows and movies, really
he hates
kind of
cops.
yeah. Well, like most of the movies, except for like Warzone, really like kind of misconstrue like the show as well. Like it's like not an accurate 1-to-1. It's just so fucking annoying, and it's like
It's
Warzone
funny.
is so nuts.
I feel like with the Batman side of it, like Christopher Nolan like could have actually taken a chance to address that type of thing, and instead turned it into a gag. In Dark Knight, where the guys are pretending to be are dressed as Batman and just like gunning down gangsters. And he's like, "How come we can't do it? What's the difference between you and me?" And he's like, "I'm not wearing hockey pants.
Basically, I got billions of dollars.
And
you
like,
don't."
Yeah,
it's like okay, that's the only thing.
So then the lesson is okay. So as long as you're rich enough to do it in a cool way with better tech, then it's okay. Morally okay.
If you're rich, you could do kind of whatever. So I mean, you know.
It does track.
Yeah.
All right, so let's. So what we got? We got Punisher. We got Batman. We got those out of the way. I think, and Jonkler, Travis Bickle. You know, the taxi driver,
like
infamous.
Mount Rushmore of these characters. This type of
of the toxic, masculinity characters.
Yeah. I mean, should we go to some ladies now? I mean, I guess we did do Harley Quinn, but
actually don't know.
What about Ramona Flowers?
Wait, well that's a hard one because movie Ramona Flowers very different from
book
or
manga
or
whatever,
like original comic.
Well,
Ramona Flowers, like
it's this list is mainly movie
gotcha.
versions of
okay, yeah.
Well, I got some video games for you later if you need them. down the line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you know, I think that entire movie might be like, it's a really good movie, but a lot of people miss the point that, oh, these people are terrible dog shit communicators, and they're all
Like the
fucked
pixie
up
dream
and-
girl, like aesthetic. I feel like, not that that's bad, but I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like that was like, I feel like it's pretty common trope amongst a lot of the movies of the time.
Yeah. The point that goes over everybody's head that Gibbledang was saying is like, these characters are supposed to be self-obsessed. They are all literally self-obsessed.
Yeah.
None of them like take the time to like stop and be like, oh, what does literally anyone else want?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, all of them are like 100% like,
Me.
I want this,
Serve
I want
myself.
this, me.
It's literally me.
And like, it's literally all for me.
Yeah.
And so it's like and that's like the whole point of the story is that like by the end of it, Scott realizes that like you don't have to be a stereotypical jerk to be a jerk. Like,
yeah,
if you're still being self-obsessed and not considering other people, you're still being an asshole, even though you're not being like a stereotypical toxic masculinity asshole.
Yeah, selfish. Like in another capacity. I mean, I would say that not the whole movie, but like a lot of those characters in that movie are kind of assholes or selfish. So I think in general, you could point
100%.
Like, it's
did you
part
see
of the comedy there too?
Did y'all watch the new series?
No, I've heard good things, but
I liked it a lot. If you guys ever, if you're ever on the fence about it, it was very, very fun.
Because it's like a 1-to-1, right?
Different.
Or it's like more
like alternate universe.
No.
Oh, is it not? Okay.
It is a complete alternate universe.
Gotcha. Okay.
It is an alternate timeline retelling where things go differently.
Okay.
So kind of like, it's basically like, it's not giving away much to say like, it's like, you know, it's basically, it's like 1-to-1 for the first episode until it gets to his fight with Matthew Patel, and Scott loses and dies.
Oh, he
And
that's for episode 1. So.
That's the episode 1 of the show. Like, that's the start of the show. Is that basically it's like it's a 1-to-1, and then all of a sudden the thing that's different happens, and then the rest of the show is the fallout of this happening and what that means, and all the different ways that the universe changes and how characters still end up growing and stuff.
Yeah, just a different trajectory.
It's nice because in this version, like, every character, the villains included, all get like a positive
arc
character development.
Okay.
So like you get to
Life
see
would be
like
better without Scott.
It's
and
interesting.
honestly, I agree. I feel the same way. Namely about myself. Now I'll go ahead and make a list. Here are 10 reasons why life.
Why identify with characters who the world would be better without.
Gosh.
Without.
Okay. Number 1. Jeez.
Number 1. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Bad influence.
Yeah.
Does drugs.
Eats too much.
Gives
much.
dog chocolate.
Glutton.
Yeah. Body image problems develop. No.
Probably makes out with that dog.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The way they eat that sandwich.
I don't want to know.
You know he's putting peanut butter
Can
somewhere.
we move on?
Yeah.
So-
do you want us to go, or you? Have
So
next
other
on your
characters I identify with, Shaggy.
Shaggy. Hey, it wasn't me. But let's talk about the Wolf of Wall Street.
list?
Wolf of Wall Street. Speaking of having that dog in you.
Oh my god, these are all the business bros, the tech. You gotta wake up at 4:30 and have an ice bath, or take an ice bath
To
at
rip the
4:30
tape off your
a.m.
mouth.
Yeah.
Just
Spend an hour watching TikToks and drinking name brand water pointed out to the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These are the business tech bros, the easily manipulated into pyramid scheme kind of people. You know what I mean? I feel like they're the ones that are really like, oh my god, the Wolf of Wall Street truly is me. I don't know what his name is. It's Leonardo D.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I've never.
Oh yeah, the character had a name, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, Leonardo.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Margot Robbie.
Yeah, true.
No, true.
True.
But there's so much of like the just the fake selling something that just doesn't exist. And I don't mean like product. I mean like an image of just a absolute capitalist
Yeah,
piece of shit.
I was say it's a
Yeah,
very
it's like-
capitalistic, glorifying of capitalism. Essentially, like this is who
Yeah.
you. It's one of those videos, like you said. It's like this is how you get $1 million in a Tesla or Ferrari or whatever the fuck.
And I think it's the Bugatti.
Yeah.
No, it's like
Mhm.
sorry, the guy say it like Andrew Tate. Bugatti. And I feel like it's even more than that. It's downright glorifying scam culture.
Yeah,
Even more
hell
than
yeah,
capitalism.
dude. Hell
Because it's
yeah.
not telling
I
you to
love
like
that.
start a legitimate business
Yeah.
and like,
No, it's
you
telling
know,
you to
put money into your
scam.
401k and shit like that.
yeah.
It's literally like
How to take advantage?
it's
of other
literally
people's
telling you how
money.
to take money from other people and use a scam to make yourself millions off of it.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's so funny that this is the idea that is like becoming super popular all across like social media, across streaming, across like live streaming, like Twitch and YouTube and shit, and Kick, and literally
Yeah.
Kick being a whole streaming site that got launched
Just
because
for
scammers
grifters.
were getting kicked off of Twitch.
Yep.
Like,
It's fucking wild.
so
west,
that they
isn't
could
it?
And
keep doing
it's-
gambling streams and
Drive.
shitcoin rug pulls.
Oh, they drive
They're
down the fucking.
they're the
Like-
kind of audience that meet up in the at 5 a.m. at a Wendy's parking lot. You know what I mean? Where to have their team meeting. Have you seen any of those videos?
No,
Yes.
I have not. I
And
guess
you know-
I lucked out.
Oh my
I-
god!
It's funny because like before Wolf of Wall Street, in general, right before that, for a good few years, there was already something else on TV that people used for the same purpose, and that was Suits. That was the dudes from the show
I do remember
Suits,
that one.
who the same fucking dudes related to and like looked up to.
That's
And
right.
it's scummy, like cutthroat lawyers who will do anything to win, regardless of the morality, regardless of
Yeah.
what it takes.
It's
the
funny,
ends always justify the means.
No matter how
like-
many people get in the way, or how many bodies you leave bloodied and bruised along the way, no matter how many people get in your way,
yourself as an investigatory journalist.
story journalist.
Oh, it's funny you talk about Suits like that because like I watched a bunch of seasons because someone I was dating at the time, and she was big into it. So it's just
Dala's a
it's
big
funny,
suit
man.
head.
Huh?
You're a big suit head.
Yeah, I
Big
did remember
suit head-
watching
big-
and being
big
like,
suit-
I call you
Suitor?
it's one of those things where like I'd
Yeah,
watch
you're a
and I'd
big
be like,
suitor.
God, I fucking hate these people. But I think it's also like I was like, I think you're supposed to
I
hate
love
them.
it. I'm such a suitor.
Well, there's
You
like a-
are supposed to hate
there's a character
them, but
that's,
the problem
like,
is that there's
getting
a lot of
corrupt.
people who just related to
Yeah,
them
that's fair.
instead. And
Yeah.
yeah, the main character
He's getting
starts
corrupt is,
like
the
more
whole
innocent.
thing
Yeah.
with him. Yeah,
But like a bunch of dudes watch that show and just right away we're like
identify
looking at his
with the-
boss like that guy
yeah.
fucking rules.
He's
I
got a
fucking
nice
love
suit.
that guy.
I would look good in that suit.
Yeah.
It's like a big guy that
I
doesn't
love
look
how he
anything
makes
like
everyone
him.
feel small and insignificant
Yeah.
when he talks. That shit's rocks.
Yeah,
like-
yeah. It's like
Hell yeah.
it's funny because I think these people identify as like I would look cool, like that guy looks cool, so I would look cool like that. And it's like you don't look like him or them, which is fine. Look like you, but it's like I don't know,
Yeah.
it's
Also,
like
you can't talk like them.
Yeah, you're not
You sound
different.
stupid.
You're a
like when
whole
you
different-
talk.
yeah.
It's like when you talk like you are speaking from a script. Like I'm sorry, but like it's
Yeah.
like you don't seem smart. You seem like
No.
you've practiced this because you've copied a bunch of really dumb shit.
Yeah,
Like-
memorize the lines.
Now I want to transition into Patrick Bateman. Because I also have
Ooh,
a
yeah.
bit of a backstory that I've told
Sure.
you, Nate. But let's talk about Patrick Bateman.
From American Psycho.
I mean, obviously Christian Bale, sexy,
Mhm.
you know,
Great
waking
actor.
up doing 1,000 abs. Yeah, sure, I guess
Yeah.
he's doing 1,000 abs. He's doing 1,000 abs in the morning. He's putting his ice pack. You put the clip here. So I get it. People see that, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome," you know. But I'm actually I'm the self-obsessed, completely narcissistic psychopath that is just constantly just trying to like. Oh my god, it's just he's basically a combination of every other character that we've talked about before this.
yeah, there's a lot of overlap with these characters from what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And the dudes who end up relating to him specifically
Yeah.
are the dudes who have never been in a fight in their entire life, but they truly believe themselves to be like dangerous and like, ooh, everyone's lucky that I follow the rules of society.
Yeah.
Because like
I look at people and I just
on the
think
inside,
about how vulnerable they are
I
in
just
that
think
game.
about killing everyone. Yeah.
I have like 5 ways
And
of
they're
murdering
usually,
you
like,
right
very
now.
vain.
Looking at you.
Yep.
Meanwhile, if you got yelled at those guys, they would probably start like quivering and not be able
And
to
back
carry on
off,
a conversation. Yeah, they would like.
Yeah.
So I think we get why Patrick Bateman, but now I want to go into a tangent or a story when I was in college about when I was in theater class. It was fucking what class was this? Either it was like beginning acting or beginning improv or acting for theater and television. I forgot what the fuck it was. I forgot what acting class it was. But there was someone in there who was like basically like he had already graduated. He must have been like mid-20s, but he was like an Edgar before the Edgar was really on the scene because this is like 2014.
Mm-hmm. So pioneer, I'm hearing.
A pioneer,
A real pioneer.
a trendsetter.
And funny enough, he like graduated with like not in business, but something like that. Very Wolf of Wall Street.
Communications.
And, basically, probably not. So he, in improv class, they assign you to a partner, and they're like, all right, go on stage and act out a scene in front of everybody, and do an improv scene. And he had this partner. And she would go up to initiate with him every time.
God.
And she was like, oh, hey, how you doing? And like, oh, hey, I'm so glad we're at this park. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We're at the park. What do you mean? Like, oh, well, why don't we just sit down? What are you talking about? What do you mean sit down? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I don't know what the problem is so far.
and like the partner would look at the coach and be like, okay, we gotta take a break. So, whatever his name was, like,
Yeah.
Edgar. You gotta add back. You gotta like act. Like, are you getting it? He's like, oh yeah, no, I get it. Scene starts again. Oh hey, I'm glad we're at this park. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Oh my god. I would rip my high school hair out.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fucking park. Jesus. Do you not know what a park is? You fucking imbecile.
Couldn't understand just the concept of improv.
Mm-hmm.
He would show up every now and then to class, but at the end we had to do a monologue for our I think final grade, and he chose the monologue from American Psycho.
Nice.
And he definitely fumbled his way through it.
Yeah.
It'd be like I'll put an ice pack on while doing my crunches and
You've really committed this to memory.
It's real thinking
no, it's
about
okay.
it.
Take your time. The audience, like
Yeah.
the coach, just take your time.
Gosh.
And on the face and exfoliating gel. Okay, yeah. And
The
then
whole
like
thing,
once
yeah.
he's like, okay, I remember where to. Let's get back up. I need to catch up back. It's so
That's
fucking.
so funny. Oh my god.
What the fuck was he
God.
doing in an improv
That's,
class? Like, that wasn't his major, was it? Or, I mean, you probably don't know him, but
No.
still, just what the hell?
No.
Fucking hell.
No. Either way,
Taking an
That's,
elective, I guess.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering.
incredible
Earlier.
stuff. Yeah.
No, that great sounds great. That's actually where I learned
He's probably
my
doing
improv.
better than I am.
Yeah, he's done my improv. That's where I got my improv skills from. No.
Yeah,
What are you talking
That
about?
makes sense.
From that-
That makes sense.
Yeah, from him actually.
Yeah, actually,
Classes
not
from
that.
guy.
This.
Yeah, no, not the class. From him. Like, from Edgar himself.
I was gonna say you were mentioning female characters as well, who we only talked about Harley Quinn briefly.
Oh no,
Ramona.
Ramona Flowers. Actually, I was gonna bring up another one right now too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had some to think of
Go.
as
Pop
well.
off, Queen.
Pretty much all the characters from Sex and the City.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, I don't know.
I can relate.
I don't know.
You gotta
I don't
see
know
the show.
anybody who's-
Yeah.
Actually,
You gotta
yeah,
see
you're
the
right.
show.
You're such a Samantha. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that,
Oh, yeah,
literally
you're right.
that.
Oh my God, you're such a
You're doing it.
Samantha.
And
Oh
people
my
do it
God.
about all the characters,
That's funny.
and 100% of the time, it's always them like associating themselves with just little quirky things about that character, and the show like extensively goes into the flaws of the characters and how like they really can deeply cut these women's personal lives, and how like they all self-sabotage. Basically they all manage to sabotage themselves because of these flaws, and people just ignore that, and they're like, I make jokes about sex, I'm such a Samantha.
And don't we all?
Oh, I talk to myself sometimes, I'm such a Carrie. And
I mean, you are.
like, it's like, meanwhile, like, no, like Carrie has like problems with self-worth, and it like leads to her letting herself literally be abused sometimes by men, even though she's like a extremely paid like influential journalist and stuff, like someone you'd think wouldn't take shit from anybody, but she still does because it's about self-image. It's like, I don't know, there's just things that people I feel like miss so much with those characters. And
I'm sure.
I grew up in a household with 4 sisters, and
that
so
makes sense.
shows like Sex and the City I've seen a lot of.
That's why I was wondering. I was like,
and
Middle Earth, Star Wars, Sex and the City, the 3 pillars of
Sex and the City, Gilmore Girls, Bend
Yeah.
It Like Beckham. Like, I
That's
also
fair.
know
That
the
makes more
female
sense.
highlights.
Yeah,
And, like-
I mean, it's a good pull. I've never seen it. That's why I'm like, okay. But I was surprised you'd seen it too. But that makes sense.
Yeah, fucking women. Jeez.
Can I?
So
like,
not what I said. That's definitely what Gibbledang is saying.
Or I
I
guess-
wanted to make
but
sure
you know
we
what's,
were clear on that.
Yeah.
I had a
What I-
poignant and clear point about Sex and the City.
Well, no. Speaking of poignant, I feel it's so funny that the main characters that people seem to identify with are obviously like either critiques written by like queer men or movies directed by women that are like complete, not critiques, like they're showing like, don't idolize these guys, don't be like these people, you know what I mean? And it's from communities that strictly know like, oh, fucking we're completely impacted by these people, you know what I mean? And then it completely gets like misconstrued and just like, oh yeah, I'm Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Tyler Durden. Fucking
that.
yeah, Tyler Durden, yeah. Because Fight Club, yep. David I believe David Fincher, is it David Fincher?
Yeah, Fincher.
He's gay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the death of, it's just like the modern death of nuance, and just how the like majority of people who are consuming these things, they don't have the like literary comprehension to understand that somebody can be a character and not a role model, and can be a main character and not a role model. They think every story they engage with, they're supposed to relate to the main character, and it's these also like these very simplistic thinking people who hate on things like that come out in a lot of media, and who talk about like wokeness and stuff like that. It's the reason why they're upset when like a franchise they like is like, oh, is now the main character of the TV show is a black woman instead of a white man. Yeah. They're like, what's up with wokeness? You're forcing it because they still can't get it through their thick skulls that you don't have to relate and see yourself in the main character to consume and enjoy a story and to appreciate it.
You can still
like,
relate
they
even.
Can't, I think it's just like a form of narcissism where people can't care about something unless they can see themselves in it.
God.
If it's not about them through relation, then they can't care about it because they can only care about what's about them.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these types of people too also just lack the empathy, perspective taking, like in jet as well, like upon that, and hence why when they see Patrick Bateman throwing a chainsaw at a woman like from like 50 floors up or whatever, you know, they're like not like, oh shit, that poor woman or anything. They're like, that's sick. I'm the guy. That's also a guy. You know, he looks cool.
Instead of thinking like, man, it would suck to die by chainsaw.
5 minutes before that, the dude is having a fucking 3-way.
Yeah.
So like, of
so
course,
cool.
like people watching that are like, oh, that's fucking tight. I want that to be me. And then
so
fucking right after that, it's like, you know,
such a funny scene though, because he's like fucking them like. Well, like it's just so
like
stupid. It looks so goofy. It's like funny,
flexing at himself.
Funny enough, you mentioning, I forget earlier in the conversation, it reminded me recently. I don't think I had this issue because I only recently saw Boondock Saints but that's another like college Fight Club style poster movie.
God.
And I'm like, I could imagine, but I saw it like last year and was like laughing the whole time because I was like, this is so fucking goofy. I love it.
I had to take my work truck into Big O Tires today, and that was playing in there.
That was
That's so funny.
nice.
Boondock
He's
Saints.
gay. He likes classical music. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Actually, no, 10 out of 10 movie.
Yeah, I love
It's
edgy
just everyone's
characters.
not identifying with Willem Dafoe. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
He's
that's
gay.
The
true.
character that
Classical
they
music.
gotta.
That's the one you're supposed to do.
Classical
He's
music.
the one that you're supposed to identify with.
Yeah, that's the
No,
hero.
it's funny. I'm like, I really love edgy characters because I love them though because they're just so goofy and dumb. Like they're just yeah. That's what I love about them. Actually, speaking of which, do you mind if I go with an edgy-ish character?
But you want to bring something up?
Yeah. So we didn't really talk about video games, but one that came to mind, actually two for video games, but the main one that came to mind was Pyramid Head, a character solely developed to be the embodiment of one specific guy's trauma, who just has a really cool design, became the mascot of Konami and Silent Hill, at least Silent
franchise,
Hill,
yeah.
And he's used in like movies, other things, in places where it's like that. It's symbolically it doesn't make sense. Like that's if I took
robbed of its context.
Yeah, and it's like I mean, it's not as this is more just like a misconstrued. It's not like luckily anyone, as far as I'm aware, is like I identify as Pyramid Head because there's not really much.
So Pyramid Head.
There's not much like to attach to, but. Yeah,
It's more of like the misuse of like his imagery.
Yeah.
It's just more of tied to like the franchise as a face now.
exactly. It's like this is a cool design. Let's make it a woman version now, and I forget the girl version, but she has big boobs and and it's like this character that's meant to be like a creepy one-off thing, kind of, or like the boss, but whatever. It's like just misconstrued by its own like not the own creator, but like the own company, I guess. That's more of
It's
a
popularity.
Yeah.
That's a popularity thing.
yeah.
When things become bigger than what they originally. Oh, that'd be another good
They
premise.
can't let it die.
Yeah.
It outgrows it.
Yeah. I have one more too if you want. Actually, which is funny because
No,
I
keep
recently
going. Good.
I saw an interview with David Jaffe. He's like video game creator. He made Twisted Metal and God of War, like the big two, like the original God of War. Like he created Kratos and like the games, whatever.
Nice.
And I saw an interview, and this is funny because this is like the opposite, and where I'm like I disagree with the creator, where he's kind of doing the opposite, where he's in the interview he was like, when I made Kratos, he was just meant to be like rage and like kind of like this edgy character, rage and just like destruction, and like his character storyline is like done. But then, like, he was complaining about the, like, I think Santa Monica Studios, like, the 2016 reboot, or, like, part 4 and whatever, Because it's, like, because there's, like, character development. He has a son, he's growing as a character. And David Jaffe is like, what the fuck? Like, no, he was made to be just...
He doesn't like that he's not an embodiment of rage anymore?
Yeah, and it's, like, the opposite flip, where it's, like, interesting. I'm like, I don't agree with you. I think it's more interesting, at least if we're going to continue, especially. It's, like...
Oh, yeah. I think
is
it's incredibly compelling to see him change.
So it's just, that's the only time I could think of where it's the opposite, where I'm like, I actually agree with the perceptions after, which is related, but not quite like the same. But yeah.
I think like that is, God of War did such a good job with evolving a character in a way that reboots and revisits very rarely do well.
Yeah.
And they didn't just go back to the same thing.
No,
they didn't evolve it in a way that felt unnatural and inorganic and like purposeless. It was something that felt like rewarding, engaging, like, and even had a little bit of a full circle to it, with him kind of deciding, like, spoilers just for anybody who hasn't played the second one, God of War Ragnarok, him kind of deciding that he is going to be a god again, and he is going to be a god of the people again. Like, he's going to be the god of war, but he represents something else about war rather than just destruction.
Yeah.
He represents
for like good, or
fighting for good. Yeah. Fighting
That's
against evil,
cool.
standing up for a people, for a community, and like people fighting together.
Yeah. I one last bit on David Jaffe though, just like it's funny because I'm thinking about it and I'm like, when he created Kratos, I remember seeing videos where it's like he created Kratos and Twisted Metal, and he was like, I saw a video years ago where he's like talking about in therapy, you know, all these characters are kind of part of me and like my rage and like whatever my like whatever frustrations or whatever. And so
rage, I just have so.
I'm like seeing him
Just so edgy.
Yeah, kind of. But I think seeing him get upset that Kratos grew might be indicative that maybe he hasn't like as a person.
He hasn't done that legwork.
Yeah,
That's the real reason it reminds him that he never made any progress in therapy.
Because like all of his characters are kind of edgelord dudes or like dark edgy. But that's the last I just wanted to bring on that part as far as like the video games.
But throughout all of that, there's something that I did. I was thinking about in terms of both comic book characters and people kind of outgrowing their, I guess I don't know, their own scope.
Mm-hmm.
But so many people identified with Spider-Man to the point where they started introducing different versions of Spider-Man. They started introducing Black Spider-Man, and then all of a sudden, they just went ahead and they were just like, okay, multiverse, to the point where Spider-Man has like kind of almost like with Pyramid Head, where he's transcended his like what Spider-Man is, because so many people identify with him and are just like, that's literally me, to the point where like now it's like anybody can be Spider-Man, you know.
I'm
But now as a consequence, it also means like Spider-Man, if Spider-Man is anyone, then Spider-Man is no one, you know what I mean? Like it's not his own character anymore.
I feel
it's
like
big. It's exploded
just a
outside of
word.
itself.
I'm fine
That's
with
just
that.
my point.
I'm fine with that because I think just also mainline Spider-Man in the comics sucks currently, and it's like I think it's also just nice to like for little kids that like there's like a black kid to be like, I want to read Spider-Man, and then there's like Spider-Man I can read that's good. Like Miles is good. I can't speak for every other like. The Pakistani Spider-Man probably doesn't have
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, like not every race.
Would it be racist if they made a black Peter Parker?
Wait, would it be
No.
racist?
People
mean,
would
yeah,
get
right.
mad about it.
Yeah, people would
if
be
that's
mad.
what you're
People
wondering.
would get mad
Yeah,
about it.
but they'd be mad
it's
about
like,
whatever.
of course there's
No,
gonna
it
be
would
a
not be.
universe.
It would not be offensive at all.
Dude,
There
like,
wouldn't just be Miles, yeah. Because what if there's like a black kid that's like, I identify with Peter more than Miles.
Yeah, and that's one thing I don't think you have to be the race of the person inherently to like have some kind of like relating to. I mean, I'm not Jewish, but I relate with Spider-Man like at times back when he was like how he used to be, not after he became like a billionaire and any of that bullshit, or you know, sold his wife to the devil or whatever.
Speaking of Marvel, a character who I think a lot of people like wrongly identified with, and this is kind of a whole theme that kind of goes with Joker too, was Thanos. And like
What?
Yeah, so
well, maybe.
100%.
It's not as bad though.
Like
at
all of the
all.
Thanos was right, bros. Like
Yeah,
all the
but I
people
don't know
who
if
try to
people are like,
think
I am
that they are
Thanos.
well, the way that they identify it isn't as much as oh, he's me. It's more like
I like his
I
plan.
get it. I like his ideas. Like, oh, he's actually right because nuance is dead and they can't understand like the concept of the ends not justifying the means. And
I think that's more just agreeing with like missing the point rather than being like that is me. You know what I mean? But like I agree. But I think that's more of like people just not being
I think
like,
people
no, that's
don't
why would
realize
that be a good thing?
I think when people agree with that, they don't realize they are relating themselves to him. And like, because those are the same people who then will go and like support Trump, and then when Trump starts disappearing people to concentration camps, they're like, man, see, it's good to be ruthless about crazy wild ideals. This is perfect. Like, this is exactly what I want. This is exactly what we're talking about. And like, I feel like it is a whole category of person still, and they don't realize that they take it casually of like just agreeing with villains
without really thinking
and
it
their wild
through,
shit, without thinking
like
it through that they are relating themselves to a
lack
like
of
someone who's genocidal.
Perspective
like,
taking and empathy of human beings and
yeah,
others' plights or others' things. I mean, yeah, I think it's like related. I wouldn't. Yeah,
it's related. It's really
yeah. I mean, I was trying to think of characters in the Sonic universe, but I'm like, I don't personally know if anyone's like I'm Sonic, and like also misinterpreting it, you know.
So I feel like there was another one that I came up with, which is interesting because this character, I think he is both identified with all the time, and people relate to him, and in doing so, they do so in a very naive way that is not very like truthful to really
Jesse.
And it's but at the same time, my interpretation of that character is very different, and then I relate to my interpretation of that character, and that's Luke
Walter White.
Skywalker.
Oh,
I thought it.
So,
Good bait and switch.
A lot of people, the way that they think about Luke Skywalker, especially the older crowd, is do no wrong, always perfect, always trying his best, and and is powerful enough to never fail and should never fail ever. And they aggrandize themselves, and they see themselves in him because they see themselves as someone who is so moralistically correct that they can never fail. And it is an insufferable type of person that I know. I was deep into the Star Wars fandom.
You were,
especially during the sequel no, definitely were. I removed myself because because being in the Star Wars fandom and on like the internet and actually in the discussion was torture with people who have no literacy and no empathy skills and no ability to understand rounding out a character and not believing that a character should be all positives all the time with no flaws.
It's a good one.
Especially people who then insist that is why they like him and relate to him. And so I'm like, so you're delusional. You are literally a delusional
I only ever
person.
do anything good all the time.
Yeah.
My mommy tells me.
Very dog shit and annoying character in the first two movies anyway, so I don't get what people I don't get what people romanticize about him, because the first movie is just a stupid dipshit who kisses his sister, and then the second movie he kisses his sister again and loses a hand, and then the third movie he's just mysteriously cool. No.
And doesn't kiss his sister.
It
Come on
sucks.
now.
And he doesn't even kiss his sister.
And people constantly miss the point of the third movie being that he spends that whole movie quite literally dabbling in the dark side and doing bad things.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, he realizes he's been so aggressive and confrontational, and that's not the way to go about things. And that's the whole point. And anyways, it's just
they kisses his sister.
And he
but
kisses his sister. So I removed myself from that fandom.
I related to that part.
And here we are.
When episode 9 happened, I fully removed myself from caring about Star Wars at all, basically.
Damn.
Somehow
good
you
choice.
have returned. Here you are.
Good choice,
but now we should move on to what about the characters that we actually identify with? With all of that being said, there are some characters that that I'm able to look at and be like, oh, that's funny. That's me a little bit without taking the piss, I guess. But yeah, funny enough, one of these characters I didn't realize I had a lot in common with until GymleaderNate brought it to my attention, was Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Andy Samberg, which is funny because we Nate and I used to work with each other, and I think he was rewatching that show after some time, and he'd be like, Jesus Christ, that guy is he's annoying and he's you. And I'm just like, all right. And then I started watching that show, and he was growing up, I had wanted to be a detective and a crime solver, and that's kind of what Jake Peralta's main character is, and obviously it's Andy Samberg, and he's gonna be funny and annoying. But also, his character had some strained familial issues that I definitely related to, that really informed his character, and in so many different funny ways. I think of the clip where he talks to his lieutenant, and the lieutenant's like, "Good job," and Jake's like, "Thank you, Dad." And the entire precinct goes silent and is just looking at them too.
He's like, "What? Why is everybody looking at me?
Like, what?
You just called Captain Hall Dad." What? No,
no, I didn't.
Nice.
And then another one is one that I've talked about on an episode before is Sandman.
Got that one too.
Morpheus,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, I don't want to talk about the author of the book, but you know, it is a very moving story about growth, and that no matter how old or powerful, not like saying that that's what I identify with, but that you could look back
Sleepy.
and change, and that you could grow from places that you didn't think you could, or you could move past things that you didn't even issues that you didn't even know you had, you know?
Yeah.
It's
never too late to re-examine yourself.
Exactly, or to make amends with people,
Yeah,
or to,
totally.
create yourself anew, basically. And that's something that I really identify with, you know? I mean, I also happen to be a moody, freaking twiggy goth boy, so I mean, I'm sure that probably...
That definitely helps.
Yeah, I'm sure that helps, but, you know, it's just things that I've definitely identified with, you know? Like, I mean, even, like, just to give an example, just his treatment of women, or the way that he thought of his, like, ex-wife. I believe her name was Nala. He was like, oh, I want to promise you the world, I want you to be my queen. And she's like, I can't betray my people. Like, you know, I'm not just going to choose you over everything. And he sends her to hell. And then he's just like, yeah, that's what I needed to do. And he tells his sister about it. And she's like, what the fuck's your problem? You're a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
God, the amount of exes I've sent to hell, guys. Let me tell
Yeah,
you.
that's the part you're like, man. Those.
A lot of exes I have imprisoned in a primordial cage in the fires of hell.
You know,
man.
I created the
If I had
nine
a
circles
nickel.
myself by sending X's.
But yeah, but just, you know, that's beautiful story. But
yeah,
check it out if you want to. It's okay if you don't.
If you get
and then
it,
watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I was like, read
Yeah, if
it
you
online
get
either
it.
illegally or go to like a used bookstore and get it.
Illegally, for sure.
Either.
Or a YouTube
Nine-Nine,
video.
like Jake Peralta, a character who I feel like it's like that's a good character to see yourself in, because it is truly like a story of him growing from a naive idealism to like facing the reality of the world and himself and what he really wants, even though it's a comedy. And I feel like that's rare these days, is like having comedies that actually give their characters growth instead of just doing all yucks all the time. Like,
and speaking of Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny, because
yeah, he's such a good
Jesus Christ, my life is just hunting and killing rats now, and it's oh my god, it's getting so depressing.
And Dale Gribble too,
It's
right?
honestly getting so, and Dale Gribble, it's getting so fucking, oh god.
it's getting to you. You're starting to. It's like
Every time I pick up a trap,
Gibbledang in
there's a
front of
mouse
the
in it.
pin board. They're
No,
everywhere.
Yeah, Pepe Silva.
No, not even that. It's more of like, I pick up a trap and there's one in there, and I'm looking at it in the eyes, and I'm just like, is my life any more valuable than yours? I could be stuck in a glue trap tomorrow. It could be any one of us.
I could be stuck
You
in
know?
You're kind of descending into a little like
Madness.
Kafka-esque, like
Yeah.
introspective, like
Metafiction. over-
yeah, it sucks.
yeah, you're becoming metaphysical, like.
Whatever.
Ooh.
What about you guys? Oh, and you know what? Actually, one more. Alana Glazer, or I don't know if that's the actress's name, but
Who?
honestly, either of the leads from Broad City, they're both
Gotcha.
two pot smoking freaking mid 20s, or I guess late 20s, yeah, early 30s, really goofy I don't know, scavengers, rat people. I like them.
Yeah.
I binge watched that show recently.
It's a good one.
All right,
Nice.
now what about you guys?
Great cast.
One I would like to bring up for me is Fry from Futurama.
Such a good one too.
I feel
Nice.
consistently
Oh my
confused in over my head, doing the best I can. It's never really enough because I'm never quite getting there, but but like I'm trying to stay positive and trying to keep a smile on my face and tell jokes with my friends and, you know, and get through life one step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you're from the past.
I was gonna say you got sent to the future.
yep, and I'm a delivery boy.
And you're your own grandfather.
Oh, well, shit. Yeah, that's true.
I do love that episode where Fry is like, nah, she's not my grandma. Like, after he does the deed, he looks at her and she's like crocheting, has like a ear horn thing. it's such a...
Yeah, what?
Wait, what? He's like, still looks the same otherwise. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that's definitely one for me.
Do you have any more, or do you want me to?
Well, there's the Luke Skywalker thing. There was Luke Skywalker, and honestly, I think that's a big one again for me. Where like when I grew up and found out how other people interpreted Luke Skywalker, I was very confused because I did see him as a fucking whiny, annoying.
And you related
idealist,
to that. And you related to that.
And I did.
That's funny.
The journey for being whiny, from going
That's
from
fair.
whiny, self-obsessed to empathetic and more aware of problems and conflicts outside of yourself, like, and being aware at your own failings, and that like strong-headedness and a positive attitude can't just get you through all of life. As much as it helps, you know, there are some times where like you're just gonna fail, and those are the times that are even more important to keep going. And it's like things like that, like I always really related to, and then I like grew up and found out that no one else saw the character that way, and I was very
like,
confused. And then I like watched Last Jedi, and I was like, this movie's genius. I love what they did with this character, and everyone was really vocally violently like, mad about it.
Yeah.
And it just still was so confusing to me.
It's the beginning of the
like,
saga of getting the opposite of whatever the majority likes or doesn't.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's like I felt like that's been me a lot of my life where I felt like I tried not to be a contrarian, but at the end of the day I just was so confused all the time as to why people saw things the way they did. Now it makes a lot more sense. I just still don't like it.
Yeah. But I like you for it. You know, we have to have those people that challenge us and aren't just yes men or whatever.
And just like me, I'm right in the middle. I'm kind of tolerating it.
Yeah.
Oh god, there's this. It's like reminds me of this post I saw the other day that was like, "What if it's not rage bait? What if it actually is my dog shit opinion? What then?"
Both could be true.
Shit.
Both can simultaneously.
What you gonna do?
Yeah. That's just the way I am.
What about you, Dalini?
Yeah, I mean, I got a few actually, but I mean, as mentioned earlier, nice. Spider-Man, like back when he's like broke, like dude trying to just figure out life, I think was something more recent movie-wise, and I think this is why I'm also just like I think it is really this is my woke statement, but I think this is why it's really good to have people of color of different cultures and stuff. Is the Blue Beetle movie? I remember watching that and being like, oh hell yeah, the movie's like all right movie, not like amazing, but I'm like I just love that it's like I've had good. Like uncles like that. I've like that's such a like accurate portrayal. Like, you know, this house looks Mexican just like culture. A house like my like you know half of my family grew up in, you know. So I think just, and that's not like more like, it's not like I'm like, oh my God, I'm Blue Beetle or I'm George Lopez, but more just like I can relate to like, you know, it's just a culture like thing more so, I guess, in that regard. The other one, like, I mean, I figured you were going to talk about Sandman. I was going to talk about the Vertigo, like early Vertigo comics in general. It's like Doom Patrol, Sandman is in that. Animal Man was a big one. I think the biggest though I'll probably just talk about is like Shade, the Changing Man. I think for me, just all those Vertigo comics I read like during college, and Shade was the one I got right at the end of college as I was graduating, so that it was like a perfect, like the perfect book at the perfect time. It's about Shade is about this man or alien, I guess technically from another dimension, gets sucked into the body of a serial killer on Earth at the time of his execution, like an electric chair. And the serial killer is related to the main love interest of I think her name's Kathy, who like weeks before the serial killer had killed her boyfriend in what is it in the South. Like she was taking her black boyfriend to go meet her parents, and then on the way the serial killer killed her parents, and then when they got there he attacked the boyfriend and the cops came and shot the boyfriend because he was black. And then Terry Gresner, the serial killer, went to the electric chair. Yeah. And that's not the part I relate to, but more so just, it's a very romance-based, like, travel-based story. So, like, Shade and Kathy, and then they get other people along the way, Lenny, other characters. And it's a lot about, like, love and just, like, traveling and changing and, like, who am I and, like, identity. And I think just for me, it was, like, that perfect time where I was, like, reflecting on, like, college and all the romances and the, my experience and how I grew in friends and stuff. And it's, like, literally about that. And it's also just got a cool, like, psychedelic style that just really fit at the time for me. But yeah, I think that's, like, the last one. I mean, podcasters, other podcasts, I feel like there's a lot of them I feel like I can kind of relate to. Like, it's funny because I was thinking about it before the prompt actually was given to us. I was listening to Castle Super Beast, and it's a video game based podcast where there's these two guys, and one of them is just notorious for having these it's called mind goblins, where he just has to do, like, it's OCD. It's essentially OCD. And in one of the conversations, he was like, yeah, like, so I went into my Hollow Knight because I wanted to replay Hollow Knight. So I deleted my 104% save so I could just start a new save. And Wooly was like, why didn't you just use slot 2? He's like, that's stupid because then I would have to go down and select the second slot every time I want to play. And it was just one of those things where I'm like, I cannot fucking relate to Pat at all. I am with you 100%, Wooly. Yeah.
That is insane.
It's one of those things.
That's like me
so
talking to my girlfriend about Pokemon and how, like, when I was a kid, like some people, like, the way she treated her Pokemon was like she had her first save file and then she never deleted that save file, and just,
as you do,
it lived forever, because if you deleted it, the Pokemon would be gone. And I was like, meanwhile, in my mind, I was like, oh man, the second I beat the Elite Four every game, I would basically turn the game off, turn it back on, and hit new game and, like, start again. And, I played through like Emerald so many times. If I had one Pokemon that I hadn't used ever before, and I was like, wow, this was actually a really cool Pokemon to use, and I really liked him. Since, like, I was so into it, and, like, that was the only thing I bought, like, video game stuff for, was the Game Boy stuff. I would transfer the Pokemon from my Emerald to Sapphire, and then just leave it in the boxes in my Sapphire so that I can new game the Emerald again and play again.
Nice.
And, like,
that Pokemon's different though, like, to a degree, because there is only one save. So it's like, if you do really want to start fresh, you really that's fair. Where, like, for me, it's like DKC, like, series was like my jam, and it's like slot 1 is the one where you 100% or 104% it, and then the others are if you want to start a new game or just fuck around or friends want to play,
Yeah, you're showing the game to somebody.
Exactly.
Who hadn't played it before.
Yeah, you go to slot 2 or 3 even sometimes. But yeah, that just made me. It's funny because that happened, and I was like, I relate so much with Wooly, and I was thinking of my other podcasts, and I was like, I don't think I have, like, I think usually most podcasts I relate to everyone, and, like, if it's a group thing more so. But that was one where I'm like, I'm 100% with you. But that's
Rick Glassman, shout out. I think I said that like
last
week or 2 episodes ago, probably. Because I used to play basketball with LeBron James.
Nice.
LeBron James.
For me, it's Joe Rogan, because I'm always asking.
You play basketball with Joe Rogan?
No. Nice.
Sorry. I do want to say one more real quick, which is just, like, something that's less known since we brought up, like, video games and comic books as well. From the world of books.
Ooh. Can't relate. Just kidding.
I was waiting for this one.
On 2 levels. One, there was Aragon from the Aragon series. I think a big reason why I was able to really, despite the fact that there were dragons, a big draw for me to that book was that I very much related to the main character,
The dragon.
who went from being very, again, like, yeah, very naive. The dragon, yeah. No, Aragon went from being very naive and very unaware of himself, not self-aware, and he wasn't introspective at all, really. He didn't have the skills to be able to examine himself, and by the end of it, like, he grows to a point where he knows himself so well that he knows how to say no to himself and how to, like, basically deny the things he wants because he knows they're not good for him or for anything or for anyone else. Like, a big point with that book was, like, spoiler alert if you were planning on reading the entire Aragon series in the next couple years, like, his main love interest in the books that is, like, spans throughout all 4 books, at the very end, like, basically both he and his love interest, like, both agree, like, they can't be together and that it's a bad idea, and that was, like, he, like, basically matures enough to know the difference between, like, strong feelings and strong feelings paired with a center of reason and self-examination and stuff like that. And I liked that a lot. And more recently, the Brandon Sanderson books, the Stormlight Archives, there's a character in that named Adolin Cullen. And Adolin, I related to him a lot as well. And that's mostly about my relationship with my dad, and because
learning a lot.
he is
I gotta
very
read to
defined.
figure out what your relationship is with him.
He's very defined by his relationship to his father, who is seen as, like, powerful and in command and flawless and, like, or not flawless, but like a force, and who is now obsessed with, like, being a force for good. And there's that one. That's a big one. That one's more me trauma bonding with a character. Like,
I read it so I can know. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting.
If you ever read that book, you'll get you'll glean a little bit about.
I'll
me.
finally be able to relate to you, Gym Leader Nate. I'll be like, oh my god, that's me. It's literally
not
me.
Easy.
It's me, Gym
When
Leader
people
Nate.
just see me, like, in a corner stimming and being like, "Skibbity toilet, skibbity,"
Oh,
like,
God.
they're like,
Hey?
I don't relate anymore.
30-year-old
That's 2 in the jar.
man saying that.
Yeah, the jar, money in the jar.
They're like, people are so thrown off that I've got brain rot at 31 that they.
It's. I think it's not
they can't relate.
uncommon though. Too. I don't know.
Chicken jockey. Wow, that was literally us, guys. That was us.
Literally.
Literally. Wow.
Yeah.
Do us have any plugs?
If people literally want to see literally me, they can find me at GymleaderNate on everything. Yeah, nothing going on right now. But yeah, if they wanna follow me, that's where any updates about my life will be.
Yeah, if you literally want to follow me at Gibbledang, I just posted my first custom in like a year. The Ally Punisher, nice. LGBTQ Punisher, hell yeah.
Nice.
You know what, if that pisses you off, I'm sorry, Sweaty. Sorry if that picture
so
rocks
sorry.
your tongue.
I'm sorry,
your
Snowflake.
fragile masculinity. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Ghost, Grim Reaper, flame,
flipping
you
off. Well, not screen, it's a shirt. That was it. But if you literally want to see my artwork and drawings and things, you can follow me at dala.art on Instagram. And also play Sorry We're Closed, because it's literally about me.
Oh, yeah.
That game's basically me.
Ooh, literally.
It's so literally you.
It's basically.
And why don't we?
You're such a Samantha.
Why don't we literally give a shout out to Samantha?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
Good job,
shout out
Samantha.
to being literally Samantha. Oh
Also,
my gosh,
listeners,
you're such a Samantha.
If there's anyone you relate to, put it in the comments, because we want to know who you
Literally.
relate to. But no jokers.
Put it in the
shout out-
comments.
Shout out to Introspection.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Empathy.
shout out to Introspection.
Shout out to whiny ass bitch Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, bitch ass Luke
shout out to
Skywalker.
whiny Luke
Shout out to the fact
Skywalker
that most of
kissing
the
his
people on this
sister.
list were straight white men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which in the first
out to
time it makes
Ramona
sense.
Flowers.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay.
Shout out to Patrick Bateman. Shout out to people identifying with a serial killer.
Hell
Shout
yeah,
out to
perfect.
Pyramid Head. And shout out to David Jaffe. Get some more therapy out there, dude. Like,
Oh yeah.
I want you
shout
to-
out to
please.
let's encourage David
Yeah.
Jaffe to go back to therapy and maybe
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah.
Make some progress.
Make
this
sure you
time.
Thank you for listening to No Dumb Idea.